I am something. I'm actually German nobility.
Are you really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the VoN?
Yeah, that's the VoN. That means
Was ist das?
Was ist das?
It's a German theme today.
It means that at some point, some family in Germany had a lot of money and a lot of clout. So we have a castle over there, and
you should go do an episode of Rew-who on your.
yes, I will
will
host you in my castle.
Will you fly us there too?
Yes, all expenses paid. We'll just raise the money on.
CaRLoWiTZ.
Yeah.
You're my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Wunderbar!
Yes, wunderbar. Yeah.
Exactly. I was actually just talking to Rue about how I've had this burning sensation ever since I've come up here, and I just...
Like what kind of burning? What kind of burning?
Well, I don't know.
Like in your heart?
No, like in my crotch.
In your crotch?
Yeah, I feel like I caught something.
It's National Crab Meat Day.
Oh, that's what it is.
So we're supplying crabs.
Oh, I see.
Today.
Spreading the love.
Yeah, but you should really see a doctor about that.
That's right.
So have you ever experienced this before?
The crab sensation?
Yeah.
No, I mean...
You're too young for that.
Yeah, no, I haven't...
I think they've kind of nailed that. Now it's lice.
Yeah,
Did you ever have
lice is the next big thing. I think it
I
probably
hope
did.
it's never lice day, though, because...
No, because how do you feed people snacks based on lice?
Yeah,
I
crabs
Just give
have,
them
like...
little bites.
These chips are 80% lice.
Yeah, exactly.
There's two kinds of crabs, like the good and the bad, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we got the good ones here today.
Yeah, is there a good lice?
No.
I don't know, maybe...
I don't
some-
know.
Fried
Maybe
lice.
George Washington
That's
would
right.
know.
There's fried lice. Yes.
Oh, there you
You
go.
know, they used to use
Bun
those
lice.
pork rinds.
Wow.
Wait, no, because, you know, like, they used to use slugs for treating medicine, you know, like when you had a fever.
Leeches.
Leeches.
Slugs.
Are they the same thing?
No.
One slimy, one sucks blood.
Yeah, leeches.
Like ticks?
Because they thought you had bad blood, so they tried to...
I understand the similarity.
So
They
maybe
probably
lice-
get along at a party.
So maybe if there's any good lice, they might be for that, but
Okay.
I just don't think
So
so.
next time I'm on the show, I can eat slugs.
I hope not.
Okay.
Oh, you
No,
can eat them
I
right
hope
now.
I'm
not.
trying to, think on the fly.
I mean, it happens like all the time that there's some day of something and we celebrate it.
I like that.
I like it too. I like to celebrate.
What do you like
And
to
it's
do?
National Comic Book Day today.
Today,
National
Yes.
Comic Book
and
Day.
we are going to Comic-Con again this year. Are you?
Yes, actually, I
That's
will.
where I met you first.
Ah, yes, that is
Because you
correct.
are a trauma man.
Trauma!
Roma.
So talk to me. You went to freaking Cannes.
Yeah, we went to Kansas. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last time I was on your show, I was talking about how we were trying
You
to raise
guys
money.
raised so much
We
money.
raised $40,000 on Indiegogo from fan donations. People who wanted Trauma to go over there and promote their movie.
That is just ridiculous.
Return to Newcomb High.
Right.
Woo!
That's right. Return to Newcomb High, Volume 1 and 2. It is the event film of our generation.
It's amazing.
Quentin Tarantino gave Lloyd Kaufman the idea of the Volume 1, Volume 2. You know, maybe
I like Lloyd Kaufman
Yeah.
better than I like the other guy. I don't want to say his
Yeah,
name.
the other guy.
Lloyd Kaufman has always been the nicest man to me.
Oh, isn't he?
So I only want to be in the Trauma 3.
Everybody wants to be in it, and I'm sure that he would gladly give you a part, and you can blow up your head or something like that.
That sounds good. I just played a mom in prison
Oh!
in a film that just came out called Alexandria Leaving.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'd say that's your audition right there.
Yeah, I have I'm the first thing in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rue, I think we might have a Volume 3 on our hands.
Cool, baby.
All right.
That sounds good to me. Yeah. So who were you in the movie?
So it's complicated, because the thing is, I originally was reading for this character called Brick, which ended up not being in the movie. He's supposed to be this tough, hard-as-nails, like, Cretan guy. Like, the Cretans are the gang, the mutated nerds in the movie. And I thought it was going to be like a badass, but then I guess I was kind of silly playing a character like that.
Because you're so cute.
Yeah, I guess because I'm so cute. And so they had me read for this, like, dumb boyfriend character.
That sounds more like you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how he got the crab. Just kidding.
Anyways,
That's true.
I started reading for this. I read for this little part, and they told me to. They wrote a new scene for me, and they told me to improvise. And they said just go with it. And so I just did whatever I wanted to, and they liked what I did. So they ended up letting me just kind of create a part as we went along.
So what was your name?
My character's name was Eugene.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's like a Dustin Hoffman wet dream there.
Oh,
Create
yeah.
characters.
Oh, he was super wet. You have no idea. Still mocking it up, baby.
So how many girls did you get to play around with?
Well, that's the thing. I actually met my girlfriend playing her boyfriend in the movie.
And
Yeah.
I met
never
her.
happened
She is
before.
so good.
Isn't she? Hi, Asta.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to come up at any time, you can.
She doesn't want crabs.
She's so. She's already got them.
This is going to complicate the relationship.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So you're
Wow.
in the second movie?
So
or
you're
the-
like Brangelina.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we're a power couple. The power
That's
couple
right.
of independent cinema.
I love it. That's perfect. We need you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because indie is what it's all about.
Oh,
so
yeah.
talk to me about indie. You have a new movie that you're working on.
Well, yeah, I'm working on a movie called Stiffed, which is a dark comedy that...
Stiffed, brick. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. What's all this like terminology
Yeah.
you're using? I think I'm gonna have.
You
one.
better
What's it
have
about?
it,
What's
yeah.
it about?
Got crabs.
They're good.
Yeah, they're not too
They're
bad.
good.
Crabs.
Can you give me a kind of idea what this new movie's about?
All right, so it's a dark comedy about a down on his luck waiter who gets in trouble with the mob because he accidentally kills one of their big guys, and then the mob comes after his restaurant, and they kidnap this new waitress that he's interested in, and
Is it
so,
honesty?
it happens to be. And
Nepotism always wins.
yeah, exactly. And so what happens is the waiter gets all the people in the restaurant involved in a scheme to rob all the people who stiffed them on tips, and they go and try to rob them at gunpoint. You know, like give me $6.25, give me $1.42, give me 50 cents, motherfucker. Yeah.
I could just see the bartenders and autos going after the clients in this bar.
See, it's realizing fancy.
I've seen them run out the door to the streets, and you didn't tip me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is real.
This is
And
real.
it's usually, and the sad thing is usually the people who can afford to tip you the least, which is really silly.
I don't know. I think they're. I don't know. I think it's nondescript.
I
think there's both.
There are some exceptions to the rule. So I do catering serving on the side, and so I've seen all kinds of rich people, and some of them
tip well.
Some tip well, and then
Some don't.
of them just don't. You know, and
Yeah.
some of them look down on you, and
We need TMZ for that.
yeah, exactly.
They report it.
So this movie was written and is going to be directed by Mike Baez, who was in Return to Nukem High Volume 1 and 2 with me and Asta.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and so based on our...
Feed the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
kind of like
that's good.
I feel like it came from a tension like between the three of us, you know, and like sort of it's a fantasy about a geek who gets the girl, and I couldn't be more happy to play the jerk in this movie, who was the main foil.
It's almost like a dirty Disney movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dirty Disney.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so it's for the family, but you know, you might get crabs at
The
you.
whole family can get crap.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, in fact, crabs should be an okay thing these days. I don't know.
Well,
why.
only the edible kind.
Yeah, well.
Crab cakes.
I think that's how it starts.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Talk to Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
They-
Oh!
Oh!
They have worse than crabs. It's their
Should we
birthday today.
also talk to Matt Damon about that?
Probably.
Get Matt in here. Get some chips.
Yeah.
Matt, come on down.
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
That they want a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're close. They're
Yeah?
tight.
That doesn't surprise me.
You know, like
Hollywood.
Yeah,
I mean,
after you
anything
go
can
through an
happen.
experience, you know, like you're close.
Look at you and Asti.
Exactly.
It happens. You can relate. And
I can relate to Michael Douglas
Look at-
getting
once
some
again.
weird face stuff after.
after that film.
Yeah, exactly.
After being Liberace.
Yeah.
All I think
That's
of.
what I thought you meant.
Yeah. All I think of though. Did you ever watch the Flintstones?
Oh, of course
So
I
they had
did.
Liberace.
Ah.
I always think of Liberace because they were so brilliant. Remember Liberace? I know.
That's hilarious.
I can't think of it any other
His
way.
cousin George.
Huh?
His cousin George.
Yes, that's right. I just love the Flintstones. Were
When
so
I was a
brilliant.
kid, that joke went over my head.
course it
I
did.
didn't know what that was about.
I didn't go over mine actually, but like I haven't seen the Flintstones. I want to watch it again because I know I did watch it like once, like maybe 10 years ago, and I was like, my jaw was dropping. I couldn't believe how dirty that show was.
It is really dirty.
It was so like Kids get what they get, and the grown-ups get a whole different show.
A cartoon that was for adults and then kids.
Yeah, I didn't know that when I was a kid.
Exactly, but they were like writers were like cleverer then, you know.
Brilliant.
It's the same with Ren and Stimpy,
all
Rocco's
cartoons.
Modern Life, Invader
But
Zim.
I don't watch those. You do.
Speaking my language.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
What about SpongeBob?
SpongeBob too.
That's a dirty show.
Yes.
Go SpongeBob.
Family Guy,
The thing
maybe.
about
Oh no, that's intentional.
That's obvious. You're talking about like subliminal.
on the nose. But it also
Yeah.
perpetuates stereotypes, I think, dangerously in some way, because there's a lot of idiots who watch it, and I think they take it literally.
Right.
Well, I think that
You know what I mean?
TV
And they're all from
movies
Brooklyn.
in general
Yeah.
do that.
No,
Yeah.
People forget that it's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
And but you know, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's
Right. Yeah, we're
we like to bring it down to reality here.
That's right.
Exactly. So do you have any skeletons in your closet? Now that you're like loving the crowd?
Yeah, now that it's all out there. Well, I don't know. I was thinking about that because the last time I was here, I talked about how I had gotten out of a ticket because I had been pulled over before I moved to New York. So that
Where was that again?
That was in Ohio. I'm originally from Ohio.
Okay.
But that made me think about a larger theme in general about how I have tended to lie about things throughout the course of my life in order to get away with stuff. So I just remembered how, like, for example, in college, I was constantly late to class, and I would constantly wait till the last minute with my papers, and I would construct elaborate lies about what had happened, and going so far as to do the paper later and drop it on the floor like 2 days later and say, I swore I turned it in, and it must be somewhere in that classroom. And then I would say, like, oh, that's funny, I never saw it. Are you sure you did that? And then I'd be like, honest to God, you know? And then they would look and say, I must have dropped it. I must have.
So the teacher really took responsibility?
Oh, of course they did. Of course.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Kenyon College. It's a small liberal arts school in Ohio.
I've heard of Kenyon. My daughter goes to Oberlin.
Oh, Oberlin is one of the other big liberal arts colleges.
So would she be able to get away with something like that there?
Oh, I would say so. Because the teachers are really lax there. They're so gullible because, like, you're always on a, like, really, like, close buddy-buddy relationship with them. And, I mean, for papers, other things I would do would be I would send them the wrong file. And then they would look at it finally later, and then they would say, I think you may have sent me the wrong document. This seems to be opening, or this is something from a different class.
The new age of emailing your homework.
This is for solar energy, not for playwriting 101. I think you made a mistake. And I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, here it is.
Oh, and if you had done it late.
Yeah,
it didn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But they didn't know that.
No. They didn't know the
work done.
What's that?
At least you got the work done.
No. Exactly.
And you learned a lot about writing.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would say the one thing that I think would really ring true as a skeleton in my closet is I played football there my freshman year. This is my last time playing football because I played for 10 years
What
straight.
position?
I was a lineman.
You're cute enough to be the quarterback.
Oh,
you know?
well, thank you.
The wide receiver.
Yeah.
Tight end.
This is great. Just keep them coming. Anyway,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm working it here, folks. I'm working it.
Great.
Tight end.
Yuck.
That joke has a delayed fuse.
You get it?
Oh, I got it.
Tell him what is what, Johnny.
You won some more crabs.
You won more crabs.
Yeah, but anyway, so I wanted to get out of football because I had only decided to play because I thought it would help me get into the school. Who knows?
Did they have cheerleaders?
They didn't.
No wonder. Why would you want to play football?
I don't know. Some misguided sense of obligation to a sport that I had long been over, and it destroyed my knees. Anyway, I wanted to focus on drama while I was there. That's why I went to that school.
Right.
And so I played my freshman year, and by that time, like, my right knee was just, like, torn to shit, and I needed to have surgery. I did have surgery. And so I kind of drew out rehab a little bit longer, and there were some times when my coach would come in and say, you know, Clay, what's that?
Drugs.
Oh, I did Percocet and morphine.
Oh, that works.
I can have as much as I wanted to.
And crowd medication.
Exactly. And actually, a lot of people suggest I start a side business, but I try to be more
So you
realistic.
keep telling the coach.
So I gave it out for free.
You keep telling the coach, like, I'm not ready yet, coach.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would delay like rehab and stuff and
But
say
it
like,
probably was scary. You didn't want to go back to fuck up your knee.
oh yeah. That's true. But get this. Later in the summer, I didn't have the balls to tell him I didn't want to come back, and so earlier that summer, a friend of mine had actually survived a double murder homicide, and I decided to talk to my
As a
coach.
victim?
One of his friends committed like murder and almost killed him, and he got away with it. And then like this is summer. Yes, exactly.
Only in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Oh, that state, man.
this was yeah. I don't want to get into details because I would probably get into trouble. But anyway, I started to tell this narrative to my coach when he called me. He's like, Clay, like, we haven't heard from you. Are you going to be coming down to practice, And I'd be like, you know what, coach, like, I've been going through a really dark time in my life lately, and I just, like, really am soul-searching these days. And I was, like, thinking, like, is that enough? Is that enough? And a friend of mine escaped this double murder homicide, and it was terrible, and that's really gotten me down, and I just don't know if I can make it out. And he was like, well, Clay, Everett the salesman, maybe in this dark time, what you really need is to be strong. And I was like,
Ow!
fucking son of a bitch. No, I don't know, coach. I'm really dark.
You probably told the coach, I need that like I need crabs.
I thought you were going to say crack.
Like a crack.
And I told him, I told him the crabs thing, and he said, all right, there's enough of that going around. I don't want you to come back.
Wow.
Yeah, so I never really talked to him much.
And you didn't play football?
Yeah, I didn't play
And
football.
you could stay at the school and do
Yeah.
What were the colors?
We're glad you're an actor, not
I mean,
Thank you very much. I think I'm more useful as an actor.
Yeah.
Colors were purple and white.
well, the purple's okay, but the white, who wants to wear white?
I don't know. It gets messy. And
Yeah.
You can't wear it on your period.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
It's not right. I don't know. I had problems.
take some crabs.
More crabs.
Yeah. So didn't you have something to say about Kenyon though, other than that?
Oh yeah. So so this goes back to my audition for Trauma. So before I auditioned for Return to Newcomb High, woo, I was working on this screenplay for a slasher movie because I'm a big fan of horror. And so I had taken experience, like I draw from my experiences at Kenyon College, and I had thought about all the hypocrites that I had been surrounded by and how they were sort of clinging on to stereotypes, and I felt like they were just selling out to the intellectual crowd so that they can feel comfortable and like valid and stuff. And I wrote a big slasher about how I, like in this imaginary world, had conceived of this reunion for everybody after school, and I had arranged it so that I would murder all of them and then frame it on a professor of mine. And I actually told this in first person to the people at Trauma. And after I was done with this story, and by the way, it's a last-minute decision. I walked in, I was going to do a monologue from a picture play, and I was like, they said I could tell a story, so I'll just tell a story. And so I told this story, in a very eloquent way, and I said, this is my plan for the summer. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on this little retreat with my friends, and I'm going to kill all of them, because I never really was friends with them to begin with. I'm going to blame it on my professor. And it's seamless, because there's no way you can trace it back to me. And I explained them all the details. I had thought about this. And then after I was done with that, they said, okay, well, it seems like you may have a talent for directing as well. We'll be in touch. And then, like, I walked out and I felt horrible. And I went out thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with me? They think I'm crazy. And I remember thinking, like, I have to really do some work on CLaY after today, because soul searching, yeah. And
you got the call.
They called me back, and you know what?
They were like, you're talking our religion.
Well, some of them said that, but actually some people were afraid to call me back because they thought I would actually be a danger to the cast and crew.
Oh,
They said,
you
we're
didn't
not
get
so
your
sure.
way?
No, some people actually thought I was serious.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So they were thinking
You were
that
just convinced that was part of your good acting.
Yeah, so really I have to thank Lloyd Kaufman for saying.
He saw through it.
Yeah, he swore that it was acting.
Yeah,
And,
Lloyd's a smart man.
Lloyd, thank God that turned out to be true.
So we begin and end on Lloyd.
Exactly.
So what's your website?
My website is www.ClayVonCaRLoWiTZ.com.
That name, man. That name.
CLaY VoN CaRLoWiTZ. CLaY-VoNCaRLoWiTZ.
Wow.
So did you learn how to spell that in kindergarten?
Yes, I was very, very proud of it, and I would
Sure.
always correct
Your name
people.
was like longer than you were.
No.
Then, now you caught up.
Now
you're longer
think I'm
than
longer than my
Yeah,
name.
exactly.
I would always correct people because they constantly capitalize the V, lowercase
Right.
the C, not the space. I'm
So
always
you know me, I like mess up writing no matter what.
Oh, but I like that. That's
Yeah,
endearing.
that's
I love the
different.
caps and the
Yeah.
asterisk.
I get scolded quite a bit.
Oh,
for
you
that.
shouldn't.
Oh, please.
Be
Like it's
yourself.
gonna make a difference in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Scold me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If
You know?
you beat me, make me like that check.
Well, no, I don't want to be beaten. I don't like that. Are you gonna take a crab yet? People
Come on.
are liking them.
Come on, I feel lonely here.
You're afraid of them?
Johnny's gonna kill everyone on the rew-who show. Watch out.
With
Uh-oh.
a microphone.
So, Clay, it's amazing. So what's the next movie coming out?
The next movie coming out is Return to Nukem High Volume 1. We'll be showing theatrically in Chicago in December, and then New York and LA this coming January.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, and then throughout the spring, we'll be rolling out to other cities, like for example, my native Cleveland. I believe it will be opening in April.
And this is the one where you play the boyfriend, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
And one other thing, like, talk to me just a little bit about Cannes.
Well, while I was at Cannes,
Who'd you meet?
what did I eat?
Who'd you meet?
Who-
What'd you eat?
She means the same thing.
Eggs, potatoes.
Who did you meet?
Did you go
chocolate,
swimming in the
cheese.
ocean?
Me.
I didn't go swimming in the ocean. It was kind of cold actually.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it was a little cold. I met Metz. I saw Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
And I guess I could say that I saw Christoph Waltz. Actually, Christoph Waltz heard some gunshots while we were there, and he was actually quoted in an article as saying he thought that somebody from Troma was trying to kill him.
Oh, no.
And,
It must have been you.
Yes, it was. But I threw away the gun really quickly and realized I messed up, and it's a good thing that I didn't actually hit him.
You had gloves on.
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't trace it back to me unless they watched the rew-who show.
Right.
But I guess, again, this theme with me killing people.
Yeah.
It just plagues me wherever I go.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's okay. As long as it's only in here.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know.
While we were there, we shot a documentary about independent cinema, and we also premiered our movie. And
Where? In a real theater?
yeah, in a real theater. It was called the Arcades 3 or something like
Cool.
that. And a lot of people liked it. There's some French people who didn't understand it because
Right,
it
no
wasn't
subtitles.
translated. But yeah, warm reception.
That's so great.
Yeah, and we were really championing indie cinema and the disparity between the studios and the little guys.
Right,
And
yeah.
So
Because the indie films that people think are indie films now aren't.
no, there's not. They're not. They're really funded by bigger companies
Yeah,
that claim
exactly.
to be indie.
Yeah.
In reality, like
Oh, yeah, all of them.
yeah, I mean exactly.
Yeah,
like
and
people who used to be independent who really aren't
Right.
anymore.
And that's the same as the music. It's the same thing.
It's the same everywhere.
It's the same.
It's like
Art,
people
that's why
hoarding.
we just have to keep slipping through those cracks.
We do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's the crack. That's what I was thinking. Just like the crabs. Exactly. And just, you know, what else are we going to do?
No, we have to keep fighting, and if we don't keep fighting, then we will be pushed away,
And then we'll probably turn into couch potatoes and be miserable, and then
No.
you can come kill us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stay busy.
So I have to keep staying busy, or I'll kill people.
Exactly. And then we will, I don't
We'll
know.
all die.
Well, we're going to do that anyway.
Yeah, but just sooner if I don't have any work.
Yeah, but you'll have work,
I'll
because
have
look at
work.
that face, Clay. And you got the freaking name, too.
CLaY VoN CaRLoWiTZ.
What a name. CLaY VoN CaRLoWiTZ.
All right, ruin the